Today we are going to do another build, but this is not going to be the ordinary build. We're not going to take a random ass case, throw a bunch of components in it and then call it a day. No, this is supposed to be something special. Therefore we came up with a video series. We are going to build a PC, let's call it PCA. Oh no, I already have the names. We have a PCA that I'm not going to disclose right now. We are going to build it for the next couple of days. Then we are going to evaluate it, benchmarks, thermal testing, all of that crap. Then we will take out a bunch of components, we will replace them with other components which may or may not be better, and then we will evaluate PCB. And then we will compare in the last episode how both of them performed, how both of them were able to cool down the components, and you will decide in the comments which one you prefer, PCA or PCB. So what are we going to use? Well, you see already behind me we have the bequiet Lightbase 900 Pro Ref 2, if I remember correctly. Those names are way too long, but it's a good case in the sense of compatibility, of course, and you have a whack ton of possibilities what you can do with it. You have things like lowering the motherboard, which is just crazy, but you can do that in there. However, it's so freaking over-engineered that, yeah, and the menu was crap, so the conclusion wasn't very positive, and it was more like a please redo it with a good manual and then we will have a good case. For the brain we wanted to go with AMD, therefore we took a 5950X, basically the biggest Ryzen that we have and that is available. So yeah, it's going to be the best of the best, the creme de la creme. This is going to be really cool. For the GPU, it's going to be max as well. Therefore I needed to remove my 3090 Ti from my editing rig, but we are going to go with the Asus RTX 3090 Ti Tough because I love this GPU. It's freaking amazing. We are now able to use our trusty old cable mod cables where I have that 12-pin whatever connector, which is going to look beautiful inside a bequiet case, which has like orange cable holes and everything. It's going to look amazing with those cables. A Samsung 980 Pro 1TB because I used it in the bequiet Pure Rock build and I have all the games on it. So for the motherboard, which actually arrived this morning, so I'm very happy how that turned out, we are going to go with an X570, actually the first X570 that I ever owned, but we're going to use a Asus TUF X570 Plus Gaming, yes, long name, but it will look awesome in combination with the TUF GPU, because that was the reason why I went with that one, just to match the colors. And it has like orange stripes all over the place, which will then again be perfectly combined with those. So I'm very glad how that turned out, and the only thing that I'm not happy about is that some idiot thought it was a good idea to put a sticker right in the front of the box, like it's a beautiful box and they destroyed the aesthetic. And now I need to buy a heat gun and remove it to get back the beautiful box. Who does that? Please don't do that. For the RAM, we are going to use Pinnacle's Conduit's Ep.1 ARGB RAM. Those are amazingly good. I have zero compatibility issues had so far. They work flawlessly. We have 32 gigs running at 3600 MHz and they are CL18, so we are up there. Everything is all right. And it's important that they are RGB, and we will get to that in just a second. Now, for the power supply, I also wanted to go all in, so I crammed out my old bequiet Dark Power Pro 1200 watts. Nobody needs 1200 watts, that's way too much for the system, but it looks beautiful and it will be a great combination with this amazing case. So there is no real reason, and the only thing that kind of annoys me is that it has a couple of years behind it. It's an old boy. And now we'll get to the part where the twist about all of this will come. I wanted to go with a Dark Rock Pro 4, a choice which makes perfect sense. We have a bequiet case, we have bequiet power supply, we have bequiet styled cables, and we have the biggest and fattest cooler that bequiet is offering right now. However, we're going to do two separate builds, as I said, and the first one is going to be RGB, as much RGB as possible. Therefore we have the Pinnacle RAM. However, bequiet is not known for many ARGB devices for the last couple of years. Now they came out with Lightwings and FX series, but before that they had basically nothing. The only thing that I know of that is bequiet and ARGB is, or not even ARGB, are those two strips, which in the review we already found out that the fan controller, RGB controller in this case, just doesn't work, so we are going to dump those. I'm not even gonna try use them, I just don't care. Instead of using the silent wings, which are inside of this case by default, instead of using those older silent wings, we are going to replace every fan inside the Lightbase 900 Pro with light wings. We have a bunch of light wings available to do that, that's not the issue. We have 140mm high speeds that are going into the front because you need hell of a lot of static pressure to get the air through that little slot there, so this will be taken care of. Then for the top we're going to use 140mm regular speeds, for the back another 140mm regular speed, and in the bottom we'll slap everything full of those 120mm either high speed or non-high speed. We will see how many we have and where we can fit them. But I wanted to do something special, because the cooler here, it has two fans, and those two fans are silent wings, and I don't want to use silent wings. So what we are going to do, or we're going to try for the first build, is take the silent wings off of this cooler and replace them with light wings, which I think is a delightful idea. So I guess you can really see where all of this is heading. The first build is going to be a Lightbase 900 full of the best hardware possible and stuffed with a bunch of light wings with a Dockrock Pro 4 full of freaking light wings. Therefore, the name would also be Lightbase. That makes perfect sense. It's Lightbase, yeah. For the second build, I'm not going to tell you. We are going to take out a bunch of components, exchange them for something else, maybe better, maybe not, we will see about that. For this episode, it's basically slapping components in, and for the next one, we will try to fit all of those light wings in. It's going to be a long run, this one. The 900 Pro is really not an easy case to work with. Really not. I don't know why, but I have the slight feeling that this motherboard is not actually unused. Like, everything is looking brand new, and I received it today, and the box was, yeah, those boxes are usually not sealed, but the fact that there are two stickers on them is because I can see that there's like a sticker beneath the sticker, and it gives me kind of a feeling that somebody already got it and returned it, and it was the original like ticket. I don't know, like this, what is it, like an anti-static bag? It has a bit too much of wear and tear on it to be like brand new. It's not like this is an issue or anything, but I don't know. Maybe it is a return piece, maybe not. I'm not going to find out, I guess, but this is a return piece. Why the hell is this back open? They sold me a return piece. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. It won't change anything. I mean, it won't change, we will see about that, but the board looks pretty much unutilized. No scratches, nothing. Yeah, but I can see on the, you can kind of see here that screws were already put through. This board was already installed. I don't know. I just hope that it wasn't like an RMA and that now my stuff won't work. I truly hope that's not the case. But let's just hope for the best, and yeah. Now I can't change anything about it. We are going to have to work with this. CPU time. Also, for me, brand new motherboard. I never worked with an X570. I have an army of B550s because, you know, budget and stuff, and we can't buy way too many of them. So yeah, first time X570, but I thought if we are going to do a really crazy build, then let's go really crazy. And plus that just perfectly goes with my 3090 Ti, so yeah, I think that was a smart choice. It really kind of pisses me off that they sold me a used motherboard. Like, it's not that big of a deal, I guess, but I don't know, I paid for brand new and not refurbished. So, because here you very often can buy like iPhones refurbished in normal stores. Which is fine, they are a lot cheaper than not refurbished ones, but you know what you are getting into, kind of. Like, there is the possibility that something went wrong. And I don't know, if you buy something new or you buy something expecting that it is new, you also expect that nobody ever touched it except for the manufacturer. But in this case, that's just not true. And it kind of annoys me, but it annoys me more because I had nothing but bad experience with the company that I bought this from. Like, okay, let me tell you a little story. I purchased this exact motherboard on Computer Universe for a week ago, let's say. And no, not a week ago, it was more than a Sunday. And it said something like, we have 1 or 2 in stock, you can buy it, no problem, it will arrive by Tuesday or something, they said. Which is fine. Today is Thursday, I needed it for today's build, so I was fine with that. However, on Monday, suddenly the listing changed to not in stock anymore, and we try our best to get it back in stock. So I was pissed. I needed it for Thursday and it was already Monday. So what I did, I called them up on Tuesday and I just cancelled my order because I cannot wait. Usually those things take like a month to process and to get back in stock and everything, and I just don't have the time for that. So at that point I had an issue. I needed a very good motherboard for today, and I didn't have one. I could have gone for the B550PG Riptide, but that's just not the point. I wanted to use a X570 for the last build, plus I need an X570 for the future when Ryzen comes, and I wanted to compare stuff. I want to compare, you know, biggest with biggest, not anything else. Okay, before we continue, those are the original Silent Wings. For the front and back, if I would go with 3 Silent Wings, I can slap those on. That's not a problem. I just need to see for the brackets for the fans, but I can figure this one out. However, the central fan is kind of an issue. There is this rubber ceiling. Oh, I can take it out. Ha! Now it fits. Without the rubber ceiling, it actually fits. However, this is a very tight fit. This will basically sit on that central mounting bridge. We will see if that actually works. Otherwise, I will take a 120mm high speed that also works, but I need to remove those rubber ceilings, anti-vibration, whatever. But thankfully the Lightwings have rubber on both sides, so this will work too. But okay, so my plan works. I can stuff this thing full of Lightwings, great. Okay, where were we? I had no motherboard and I had no way to get one quickly. But I had a solution, because I have a local company that was selling one. And I have very bad experience with that local company. Some months ago, like a year ago actually, I purchased a Asus 3060 Ti Dual Mini, the one that I'm using always in small like ITX builds. And I purchased it, it arrived, everything is okay. The problem, however, was they didn't include any sort of bill. And I need a bill, not for like any sort of guarantee stuff. I mean, I can figure that one out. I didn't need guarantee, but I need it for taxes. Like, I'm registered and I need to, you know, disclose the amount of money going in and out, and that was a big problem. Those were like 800 euros, and I needed that bill. So I called them up and I asked for the bill, and they were like, no problem, we will send it. A week went by, no bill. Another week went by, no bill. So weeks passed and I still had nothing to disclose, and the due date for my taxes came closer and closer. Then I called them up again. Yeah, where is my bill? Yeah, sorry, we have issues with our system. We have here, we have there, we have, I don't care. But okay, I give it another week goes by, still no freaking build. And why is there no central mounting bridge in this bag? So I called them up and I asked them about the bill, and you got the usual stuff. Yeah, sorry, we have issues in our system here and there. But then it turns out that they purchase their like PC hardware stuff from some company in Belgium, Tones BE, something like that. And they were all of a sudden, yeah, no, it's not up to us. You need to go to Tones. They are supposed to give you the bill. And I was like, what the crap? I bought the stuff off your website. So you are supposed to give me a bill, not some other company that has nothing to do with my purchase. But then, no, it's supposed to be like that. So okay, I call up somewhere in Belgium, which was very complicated because at that like location they are speaking like Flemish. Let's say in English, Flemish.
Flemish.
Flansk, I have no idea. So their language that I do not understand. So it was already quite interesting to even try to communicate with them, but they told me exactly what I expected to hear from them, which is, we have nothing to do with you. We sold them the GPU. Why are you calling us? They are supposed to give you the bill, which, okay, I was starting to get pissed. So I called them up again and they were, oh yeah, you are right, we are sorry here and there. And then, okay, you will get it in a couple of days. So I wait a couple of days. And of course, no bill. So I called them again. Yeah, sorry, a couple of days, we are so sorry, blah, blah, blah. At some point I was referred to the head of department of builds or whatever his title was, and he was like the most incompetent guy on the planet. He couldn't find my order, he couldn't find my receipt, he couldn't find the bill, he could find freaking nothing. So it took time and time again, and at some point my taxes were due and I was missing my 800 euro bill. Now I wouldn't get like fined or anything because I'm like independent, I don't have to disclose that. However, if I don't, it will not be counted as like I spent money on company stuff. So it will be seen as like private and then nobody cares, and that's not very good for my taxes. That happened and I was really pissed, so I contacted like consumer protection here in my country and I told them the story. They were not able to help me because consumer protection is like for a big amount of people, you know, it's not like for me privately. It had to be like a system problem that is concerning a lot of people, which in this case it was not. However, I used that leverage to call them up again, or wrote an email to the head of the company. Actually, I found his email on LinkedIn, I believe. And I wrote him directly, like, yeah, I contacted consumer support, consumer protection, and they are not happy with you because there is no bill, and if there is no bill, it's possible that you lost it, but you made money with it, you know, that kind of stuff. And he was pissed. He was really, really pissed. A bunch of heads rolled. And 2 days later, I got an email with a big apology with a bill. However, it was not just a bill, it was a bill with the date that they wrote the mail. So a year later, worth nothing for my taxes. However, for some freaking reason, the bill said I bought 2 Asus RTX 3060 Ti's, which I didn't, and it was like 1,600 euros on the bill. And what the hell would I do with that? It's a wrong bill made on the wrong date, and here and there, and nothing. It was just not true. Nothing about this was true. So of course I wrote him again. What the hell is going on? Why are you creating bills after the fact with wrong items, wrong amount of money, and here and there? And of course, a day later, I got another apology with, this time, the correct bill, with the correct date, with the correct amount, and here and there. Everything was alright. Of course, for me, it didn't change anything. My taxes were finished, so yeah. The time has passed, nothing I can do about it, but I just wanted to have my damn bill for my own papers actually at that point. But yeah, I was really, really pissed with them, and I said to myself, I will never buy anything on their website again. I don't care how much I need it, I'm just going to avoid them. This is just not serious business. Tuesday comes, I have no motherboard, I have a bunch of issues, I need that motherboard, so I decided, okay, you know what? It's just like 180 bucks. If they don't include the bill, it's going to be like that. So I purchased this Asus X570 Plus Tough Gaming. It arrived on time this morning. Everything is okay. However, there is no bill. There is no bill in the box. I'm already pissed. And it's probably an RMA or like a returned item. So not brand new, which you need to disclose, which they didn't. Fuck you, Heafy. Like, there is so much going wrong with that company. It's not even funny anymore. Okay, the motherboard is ready, RAM installed, CPU installed, Be Quiet cooler installed. Ah, this feels so wrong. Nothing about this feels good. Damn, the screws are protruding too much. Yeah, I see the issue. It's not even the bracket, it's the screw that is not allowing me to do this. So, okay, backup plan, we are going to do 120mm high speeds. Yeah, this doesn't feel right. Ha! It's so tough in here, it doesn't even fall out. Ah, this even hurts. Okay, and the bottom one. Ah, damn, how? I will never be able to remove this fan. Yeah, and it's sitting straight on the RAM, like, you will not be able to see the RAM like at all. Why the hell did I do this? The back fan will be sitting here anyway, so I'm not even sure that this makes any sort of sense, and it will like stick out, which will look like very weird. So no, let's use it as a dual fan. We have a 120 in the front, we have a 120 in the back. This will work fine. I believe this will work alright. As I said at the beginning, there is absolutely nothing easy about working with a Lightbase 900. That thing is a freaking monster. And although the case is really cool and here and there and whatnot, installing the power supply takes like half an hour. Why is that? Who thought that would be a good idea? When I got the case, I had no manual, or I had a manual, but it was basically just an explosion chart of the case, which just didn't make any sense at all. But don't include a manual, and I need to, you know, explore. Which just, no. That's a very bad idea. Especially for first-time builders. Imagine somebody who doesn't know anything about it would buy this case. He would be lost. Lost completely. No. Yeah, the door just opened. So okay, the PSU is in, all of the... Oh boy, at some point I will just break that front door. And that's the last thing we will do for today. And that way we'll have something like a baseline system, because both PCs later on will feature the same GPU, the same CPU, the same motherboard. Not the same RAM though, I will need to replace them for a short while. Okay, motherboard is in, PSU is in, CPU cooler is in, and a couple of light wings are already on the cooler. So for today, I think we will leave it at this. Now I will try to get the temperature down in this room, because 29.5 is just way too much. I can't continue like that. But yeah, I will do that, and for the next time we will try to slap all of the light wings in and finish up the system and do like a first evaluation of how it turns out. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. See you then.